All right, everything is set up. So again, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great evening, great morning so far, and ready to trade another exciting day. So will we see some follow through on yesterday's kind of strong action that followed the OpenAI and AMD news? That's what we're gonna see. So far, it looks like we're gonna have some strength to open the day. So will we carry that strength in the session, or will we see some kind of fading action like yesterday? But seeing that fading action yesterday on the gap up and then seeing strength right away the next day is pretty constructive to me. That's what you want to see instead of follow through down and just confirming kind of the reversal of that gap. But so far so good. But let's see the whole session as usual, right? All right, so that was kind of the more overall thought about it. But once again, starting with TradersLab TLMM dashboard. So we're still in an uptrend for now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. And you see me less and less being super precise with my analysis. And that's on purpose, right? So when you are in that pullback or correction or base building type of action in the market, then you want to be more active to see how things are shaping up, what is looking constructive, what is not. Our internals are acting around key structures in areas. So when the market is building up or pulling back, that's where you want to be active in your analysis. But once again, that we start to trend above the daily structure, once we start to see breadth expand with the McClellan summation starting to pick up speed above a rising 10 DMA, and the McClellan oscillator is just picking up speed as well and start to trend, then that's when I just really want to ease up on the analysis and just to assess that, okay, price is above a rising daily structure, breadth is expanding, so all good to go for me. I just focus on my positions, on my portfolio, and if position starts to break their structures, then I'm out. Whatever the market does, if I get the feedback from my own positions that the time is there to be more defensive, that's the approach that I will have. So yeah, that's about it. Internals now look pretty good. And what exciting is we've been kind of building that strength in the last few days. With the McClellan summation kind of pointing up, and we're in an uptrend above the 10 DMA for almost a week, and before that we had kind of the first hook up and trend attempt, but breadth never really expand much in the broader market. The strength was pretty narrow in the AI theme, that kind of area of the market. So what is interesting to see is that credit spreads were tight in that wedge just below a daily structure. So if we break down from here, that could mean that we'll see the broader market participate, breadth really expand outside of just the AI trade. And you'll see those breadth extension pick up and go into overbought territory and readings if that happens. But yeah, that's something that I will look for today. We have VIX kind of in the same picture than credit spreads, where we're trying to spike. Keep trading in that structure, keep trending in the daily structure, and now it seems that it wants to break down from that wedge. So that's good action, and that could fuel the breadth expansion that I was referring to. And obviously we have Bitcoin breaking out into new all-time highs. So we broke out of July's high. We kind of retested it yesterday and overnight as well. So it looks like it's holding strong. But just keep in mind that we're really extended, right? On Bitcoin, I will not execute that here. But if you're already in the trade from lower, then you know that it's nice to see those retests, those base structure retests holding up and showing that constructive action of those kind of pivotal and key areas. Yeah, QQQE we covered. So once again, trending nicely above a daily structure. Keep in mind though, we're pretty extended. So 2.5 times ETR from the 21 EMA, 5.5 times from the weekly structure. So despite seeing me being quite heavy still on my exposure, that's not a spot that I want to engage and open big exposure. I'm really in my trimming process. Despite that we're not seeing breadth being overbought, you just have to be aware that when price is that extended, this is not a good risk reward situation for new positions. So yeah, you can if you de-risk a lot of stuff and you have a very strong setup and you think that maybe there will be some rotation outside of what was strong, then yeah, you can go away and test that with maybe smaller risk. But it's not the time to load up if you missed the previous couple of weeks and that kind of push that we just had. Wait for the price to come down, wait for the McClellan to come down as well. That will give you a much better risk reward spot to engage. And NQ, so that's a bit less extended than QQQE, so that's good to see. We had, again, yesterday we discussed that, but now we have a nice follow through. So we had that breakout, that structure and reversal pivot retest right here, right? We discussed that yesterday morning, and we were trying to reclaim that recent swing high yesterday morning, and we were able to close just above it, but we had to kind of fade and shake out a bit yesterday during the session. Now what we see is pretty constructive. If we can follow through into the session, is that we're seeing a push and a breakout of that swing high pivot. So good action on the NASDAQ. We're still just out of that base on base, so nothing to worry about, but just make sure that you manage your risk accordingly. S&P 500, same type of action, and small caps still having that same kind of base structure, breakout and retest setup. So I like that setup for small cap as well. If we can reclaim that swing high pivot, then we have the confirmation of a new leg higher. All right, so let's look at the portfolio. So no new positions for me, so everything is de-risked. MP, very good setup. I think that if you can grab this one on weakness today, that should be one focus for sure. So once again, we're still building that base. We have higher low structure. We have that 21 DMA or daily structure reclaim, back test yesterday, and you can either grab on weakness like I said, or even that reversal pivot. If it gaps up and retest that reversal pivot, that would be a nice spot to get in. We're just at the limit of the extension that I want to engage, so for me that would really need some weakness to engage. Yeah, it's not an easy one to trade, but you have to follow the group, the strength, and just trying to position on weakness will really help you with this kind of names. We know that there's a lot of interest in those rare earth metals. You see the US government trying to position itself with advancement in those miners and those productions businesses. So there's definitely something going up, and you need to follow that strength and follow that the group is hot. So yeah, just try to position very early on weakness, and I think we had a pretty nice perfect entry on that last week. But I think that if today we have weakness, it would be a pretty nice add-on spot. All right, so Robinhood, nothing to do for me, still trading the 21 DMA structure. We had that big reversal yesterday, but if you see right away those big reversal when the stock is extended, so keep in mind Robinhood is still one of the leader stock in this market cycle. Market and internals are not showing us that we're overbought and that's potentially the end of that trend, right? So we have to keep that in mind. And when you see the leader making that downside reversal, you have to keep in mind that it was very extended. It was more than 3 times ATR from the 21 EMA. It was more than 5 times ATR from the 10 weeks moving average. So just be aware of that and letting it do what it wants to do above a rising daily structure. So if you start to get out of positions because you're stressed of giving away your profits just because of that type of action, you'll probably miss some very, very big moves. So give it the benefit of the doubt. You already trimmed, you're trailing your stop with the daily structure. Just leave it. Don't try to anticipate the end of every trend. That will really shake you out of strong position of market leaders, and you'll essentially leave a lot of money on the table over time. Yes, Robinhood can still gap up today and just crap, and that's the end of the trend. But over time, if you anticipate each time it does that, I can guarantee you that you will kill a lot of good trades pretty early. CRDO, so still building. It had offering news yesterday, so it handles that news pretty well. First time I see an offering with a gap up, to be honest, but that's what it is. We're still having those higher lows. We're still in that low cheat range. So for me, it's not broken, it just builds. And what I want to see eventually is a reclaim of that range structure. That would be kind of the confirmation that I want to see on the right side. ANET, reversal, kind of false breakout, but we're still above structure. We're kind of just filling the gap, and now it looks like we want to gap up above that range structure. So good constructive action. Palantir, I think it has to be in your in your focus list today. One of the leaders, it was with some news. And now we have a tight inside day to play against the 21 DMA structure. We're back into that range with a nice shakeout. So look at that daily reversal of the inside day of yesterday, and that would be a great entry if we see continuation in the market. Shop above base structure, to be honest. Even some kind of pullback and retest of that base structure would be pretty constructive and normal. So don't be too stressed about some weakness. Let it leave, let it breathe. As long as we remain above the 21 DMA structure, it's all good. Tesla, I think there was some news this morning, but to be honest, it's acting pretty nice. We had a shakeout on Friday, nice daily reversal yesterday with some strength. Yeah, this thing is just coming out of a pretty strong bull flag with a nice shakeout at the daily structure. So I really like Tesla here. And yeah, looking to take my target around 500 on this. Okay, so now just want to explain. So early on in the cycle, I was pretty so it was hard to position, right? 1 month ago it was very choppy, so I had decided to kind of focus on the weekly structure and all that. And recently, last week, I kind of just moved to my runners against the weekly structure. And now we have a really strong market. Momentum is picking up, and we see those trends being really strong above the daily structure. So what I'm going to do from this point is go back to my daily structure for the runners as well. I'm very good to time the market. I'm very good to ramp up exposure pretty aggressively at low risk entries, so good risk rewards. So when the market will pull back or even go into a correction, and if we start to break the daily structure, that will be a time for me to just close exposure and be defensive. And I don't care to be in cash after a very good uptrend. So if we break the daily structure, I'm just happy to wait it out, because I'm really good to trade those right side with size. That's where my edge is. So yeah, I'm going back to full daily structure, no weekly anymore, and trying to optimize and be a bit more aggressive, even more with the daily structure and my initial risk on the trades. So yeah, that's a change that I'm doing. And what did I wanted to say as well? Yeah, that's about it. So don't hesitate if you have questions. Yeah, what's the reason for the change? So I just explained it. So the market is super strong. We see those really nice trend. I want to reduce my open heat because with the weekly structure, I was about 20% open heat. Now I'm able to bring it down to 10%. So that's being comfortable with what you give back if the market goes into a pullback. And like I explained, the reason for the change is I'm really good at being super aggressive at the right time on the right side. I'm good at timing the market with the TradersLab tools that we have now. So there's no point for me trying to hold into those kind of basing process and trying to keep a very small runner into those kind of basing process when I'm able to be super aggressive on the right side and move my equity curve that way. So that's the reason. All right, and the Git book has been updated this morning as well. So if you go back in the Git book, you'll find back about the daily structure and the way I was trading anyway for many months before. All right, so that being said, let's review the runners. So AMD, big gap up, usual fade. So everyone is chasing, is being stopped out. The ones that are still in it, a bit stressed about. Hey, David, big wave. Nice to see you, buddy. That's a first. So yeah, I was explaining the change from weekly to daily. So, and just to add a bit, I'm still keeping my criterias of trying to engage close to the weekly structure, not too extended from the weekly, and I still love playing weekly setups to engage. But what I was explaining is really my selling into strength and trailing stop process, right? All right, so next one, Oak Low, kind of being rejected at recent highs. So typical action. So we were right into supply. Look for maybe some right side handle, some powerful kind of cup and handle being created on the right side here. That's what I would look for Oak Low personally. Yeah, it can just go. That's the best case scenario, but I always like to kind of anticipate a bit what would be the best case scenario, kind of the normal digestion scenario, and kind of the bad scenario, in this case, kind of the rejection and retest of the lower structure. Micron, so Micron super extended, still on my runner, nothing to do there. VRT, look at that recent swing high. Looks like it wants or need to kind of digest and build a bit. Super LT as we are now above the base structure, so good to see things cool down, cool off, and build pressure to continue that uptrend. A-Lab, nice spike yesterday on the OpenAI news. To be honest, we now have the 21 DMA structure reclaim. Now, don't be surprised if we start to build a bit the right side, right? So a bit like we discussed for open. So stocks move the same way. Learn to recognize those market cycles. So you have that spike, you have that initial daily structure pullback, then initial reaction, spike up, then kind of digestion and building the right side before we build the right side of that larger consolidation. Maybe it needs time to tighten up again, and eventually we'll have that bigger breakout. So that's the same thing happening for A-Lab. Look for the right side to be building up. So don't be surprised if we have weakness, if we need to build another high low, another tight range, and build that pressure for eventually maybe the bigger breakout. Or I can just moon. I'm all good with it. Snow, very strong. So recent swing high, reclaim. Nice confirmation, nothing to do there. Nvidia was a bit weak yesterday with that AMD news, but we have a pretty nice tight pullback right into the base area. So if that holds, that's a pretty nice base breakout and retest setup with a continuation confirmation. So if we reclaim yesterday's high, we have our daily reversal confirmation. TEM, so nice swing high, so base reclaim. That's a nice confirmation that the trend is strong. And WBD, again, nothing to do with my runner, just flagging, and eventually we'll have probably more information about that that buyout. All right, so that's about it for the portfolio. What did I have on Focuslist? Let me just validate. So yeah, CLS is still playable. I didn't include that, but if you can see some strength again today, and we see a reclaim of yesterday's high, that's still pretty much actionable. You have GEV on the daily reversal and kind of the 21 EMA reclaim. MP we covered. Net, so net is a bit choppy on the right side, but still setting up, so you can look to grab on weakness on the prior reversal pivot retest, or you can look at the recent swing high pivot reclaim here, still low in the base, so that could be a nice spot to engage here. And last one, oh yeah, PLTR, we already covered that against yesterday's high for the reversal pivot confirmation. So that's the focus list for me. So LPG is asking, still keeping the 2 and 5R. Yeah, I'm using 7R right now. So you have to be flexible and adjust. Sometimes I'm using 2 and 5R. Right now I'm trying to use 2 and 7R. It's not because you tweak some things in your system that you're not consistent. You have to flex with the market. Right now the market is stronger, so I adjusted my targets to 7R. And as I use daily structure as again, then it makes sense to just widen my second trim a bit to be a bit longer in my positions. Ditching the 2 times ATR, yeah, it's I don't use the 2 times ATR for a month or two, so yeah, that's not in my system anymore. I'm still using R multiples. All right, so TRMB, let's look at this one. Ugh. It looks super choppy. Yeah, that's not a name that I would look, to be honest. So look where it moves. It moves on earnings. So earnings, small uptrend, very weak, then pullback. Very weak trend, earnings, it moves, then sideways, going nowhere. Pull back with the market, earnings, sideways, So right now, right here was the only uptrend that was decent to catch, but it's like 1 in 10 setups. And right now you have that going nowhere once again, and you have earnings coming up at the end of the month. So yeah, that would not be my focus. And yeah, it's pretty low ATR as well. And look how it chops. It's very, very choppy. So you have good chances to be stopped on this kind of names. So yeah, no, it would not be a focus. ORCL. So yeah, still setting up. I had that on the recent swing high reclaim. It's still the case at 294.97. And even if you can grab on some weakness, that would be even better. But yeah, ORCL still setting up for sure. BYD. Okay, I thought it was the Chinese EV manufacturer, but it's the gaming. So Boyd Gaming. Oh boy. So that one is not, when I see that chart, it's not oh boy, it's oh Boyd. All right, so what I see is that giant chop. I just can't this get off of my head, right? And even in those kind of uptrend, just know what you're getting into, right? Look how this thing is just a mean reversion machine. That's pretty crazy. So even if you can catch a trade, don't expect this to be a big trend. Very easy to hold. We're still in that base, so you can sure play the breakout, but that's not my game. And yeah, I think there's more interesting names out there. Badum. Not concerned by the parabolic moves in the market. No, we're not seeing climatic moves type of action yet. Far from it. So when you have 4 or 5 handful of names having those type of action, that's a concern. But what I use and what I track, again, it's the same thing. That's overbought breadth extensions, either on the breadth extension, so moves above their moving averages. I'm concerned. So let's take the new screen, right? So I'm concerned when I see the McClellan summation tag the 1 standard deviation or 2 standard deviation. That's when I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried when I see the McClellan oscillator tag that 1 to 2 standard deviation. That's when the market is hot and due for a pullback. But right now, that's not what we have. We're not seeing. We're just turning the corner. We're just getting started. So no, I'm not. I'm not concerned at all. It's like 3 weeks until earnings start for most of our stocks, so might be hard to build cushion now. So yeah, that's a good point. What I have usually is it's about 2 weeks filters for new positions to allow building caution, all that. But just keep in mind what I said early on in the session about yeah, the market is not kind of at a risk of being kind of stretch or too hot, but recognize that we're pretty stretched and extended price wise on QQQE. And again, that's not the spot to load up and be aggressive. So you should already have your exposure. You should already have started to trim down. You should have already have started to kind of think of just riding your winners, lowering your exposure, that kind of things. That's where we are in the market cycle. Did you do something more than grinding coffee? No, that's all I got. I'm not doing drugs, bro. That's not good for trading or general health and general in life. Yeah, I know you were kidding. No stress. Yeah, exact. That's so about screening for not having earnings. That's something that we built directly in TradersLab. So you can add, not in this one, sorry. So that's what you can add. So the days before earnings in the fundamentals. So you can add that, and for me that's 14 days. So it will filters out all the names that have earnings within 2 weeks. So for me it's really nice to have, so I don't have my screens and my scans full of names having earnings within a few days that you don't have time to build cushion. So that's a nice filter that we have in TradersLab. Yes, I talked about crypto. What I said is basically the same thing. That's nice constructive action on that breakout, but we're really extended. So keep in mind that we might need some time to consolidate and even pull back, build that trend right hand side. But yeah, just zoom out on the weekly as well. We're, yeah, maybe some short-term consolidation, but that's a pretty big weekly breakout that we have here. So do we need to kind of break out and digest right away like we did? Or we break out and go for a couple of weeks? I don't have my crystal ball, sorry, but all I know is we have a solid weekly breakout, and what will happen from here, I don't know. I don't need to know. If I'm already in the trade, I know that I trim. It's time to trail that daily structure. And if I'm looking for an entry, then now is not the time. I want to get in on a pullback, daily pullback within that weekly trend, right? All right, so 9:25. Thanks again, guys, for attending this session. I wish you a very good day. And once again, the game plan for me today, just like yesterday, taking my trims, if we tag those 5 and 7 hard targets, trail my stops, not looking to open any new exposure. And my goal is to reduce my exposure, reduce my risk in the next few days. So All right, so thanks guys for the good words. So have a good one, everyone. Take care, and once again, I will be in the trading pit if you have questions during the session during the day. So take care. Bye bye, everyone.